Yeah, hi everyone. This is how I went this week. Pretty happy with my score, but there are a few things I am a bit concerned about. Look, I went up almost 3,000 in the rankings in the top 10,000 now, just almost in the top 9,000. I was ranked 4,131 this round, which is pretty good. Top 2% for the round, which is pretty good. Top 5% overall. But there were a few things that annoyed me this week, which I want to discuss. I know it's a very good score. A lot of people wish they had this score this week, but it was the wrong one, wrong tab. Um, Wait for the internet, Jesus. Okay, so here we go here. Jordan Dawson, 134, which I'm pretty happy about. It's actually ended up being a good pod selection. Dawson, I picked him at the right time, and now he's just gone off. Now he's had a very good purple patch, and hopefully can continue this form. Look, I'm not expecting 130s every week, but it's very handy that he does it. He's been doing it more often. Tom Stewart. Yeah, this is a bit of a double-edged sword, with Tom Stewart. He scored 161, which is phenomenal, but he's going to be suspended for a few weeks. So this is going to be a bit of an annoyance because I'm not too sure if I'm going to have to trade him out or hold him, which I do have might have a few solutions for that. We'll talk about in a minute. Looks at 161, yeah, happy with that. Was probably the reason why Geelong won. If he wasn't playing, Geelong would have lost. It's that simple. I reckon Richmond would probably been unlucky, to be honest. George Hewitt, yeah, 104, very consistent. Probably one of the most consistent defenders this year, to be honest. He's playing well. This move to Carlton's worked out for him. Jack Cresp was a bit disappointing in the second half. Even though Collingwood won, he only scored 80. So looks this Jack Cresp has been a bit mad this season. Not terrible, but not going over the moon. He hasn't really getting those 130 plus scores this season, which is what I want. Hasn't got enough of them, I feel. Yeah, it's just one of those selections. It's a mere selection. Just like with this guy, Jaden Short. A lot of people picked him. And look, I was a bit hesitant on him. He's had a few good games now and then, but he's a bit out of form, I reckon. Even though Richmond playing well, he hasn't really gone bananas. I think maybe, was it against West Coast? Was it against West Coast? I'm not too sure. There was a few games where he did all right. But yeah, he hasn't lately. Hasn't gone bananas, and yeah, I don't think he's got 120 for a while. I'm not too sure. I need to check on that, but yeah, he's underperforming for his price point for what we paid for him at the start of the year. And some people have actually traded him, which I can understand why if you have the luxury to do that. But since you have Tom Stewart now, and if you've got players like Ridley, or actually really did all right this week. Which is not bad. 100 was okay considering at half time it was only like on 35, and I'm thinking, oh, jeez, this is going to be another disaster from Ridley. But dropped a bit of cash, but it slowed the cash dropping a little bit after getting like a 60 last week, and had me a bit of a huge worry for this week. So look, we'll take 100 because he performed better than some of the other defenders like Sicily, Doherty, and Sinclair. So I got ahead of those people for this week, but overall they're miles ahead. So look, will I trade Ridley? If Tom Stewart if Tom Stewart didn't do that incident didn't happen, I probably might trade Ridley to like a Doherty or Jack Sinclair. I think Jack Sinclair's going to drop now since he had another average mediocre score, and it's just one of those things. Like, he's really going to outscore them for the remaining of the season. I know Sinclair and Doherty have outscored him for the majority of the season. We'll soon see. St Kilda performing pretty poorly the last couple of weeks too, which hasn't helped Sinclair, I don't think. And Doherty had an ordinary week, so mediocre average week. Wasn't terrible. Yeah, Dacos. I'll hold on to him this long. Most people got rid of him by now for either cash gen, but I'll hold him for the buys, and I'm probably going to have to hold him for even longer. The reason why I've held him for this long is simply because he's actually been able to generate more cash after having a couple hundreds. And now 93, he's just bulked up to 440, which will give me a bit of an edge. and I may have to keep him on field for Tom Stewart for the few weeks that Tom Stewart's going to be out, because I don't want to do too many more trades. I've only got 6 left, but should I trade? It's a bit of a risk either way, because I don't want to trade a player like Tom Stewart, who's most definitely going to be in the top defenders at the end of the running of the season. But then, you're going to lose those points out for the next few weeks, which is crucial. But then if Dacos can perform what he's currently the last 3 weeks, averaging a 90 or 100, it's going to make the cut, and that'll be enough for the next few weeks. And it's one of those decisions where I'm probably going to have to, weigh up the risk and versus reward. It's a tough decision. So originally this week I was going to get rid of Dacos for like Ambrosio or a Cleary, cash in, get the 338k, whatever it is, and then maybe bring in English, which we'll talk about in a minute. We're 67, that's okay. Hopefully he can keep performing well and get that job security, because a lot of people may need him for the next few weeks with Tom Stewart going to be out. So at least I've got good backup options here with the defence, which I might not even have to do a trade. I was planning to get Ridley out, but I guess I have to keep Ridley in too for the time being, which is a bit of annoyance. But if Ridley can just get hundreds the next few weeks as well, that'd be great. Oliver, 140, phenomenal stuff from him. A lot of people got him in your side now. So if you took him as a easy option, that was a great option, but not the best option. Look, I took the right option with the captain this week in Laird, 156, phenomenal job, Laird. I knew he was going to perform well, and I took the gamble with over McRae, 123. It's not quite good enough for a captain score. Considering I had a bunch of other options I could have picked, I reckon might have scored better. And Laird, he played North Melbourne, and I was expecting him to go big, and he did. So if you don't have Laird, you're really missing out. I'm surprised not many people have brought him in as much. I thought more people would bring him in by now, because he's going to be like one of the top midfielders. And instead of bringing a Petrarca, you could have brought in Laird, which is mind-boggling. I know Laird's a bit more dear, but you're trying to gain an advantage over people. Neil, 111. Not a bit below his par actually, in terms of his season average. I mean, everyone has Neil, so it's not really a huge concern. Brisbane were pretty poor, so that's the reason why I didn't really go bang. Got smashed in the end. Brisbane was probably one of the poorest teams of the round, to be honest. I know they played Melbourne, but I was expecting to be a bit closer to the game. Mill was 86, disappointing considering Sydney, won pretty easily against St Kilda. I was expecting like 130, 140 with that performance from Sydney, which is a bit surprising because you didn't really have him or Parker or Henny go off, even though they won pretty easily, which is a bit of a surprise. It was a funny match. How it really planned out with the Supercoach scoring. So I really thought at least him, Parker, and Mills or Heaney would have at least gone off, but none of them really did. McRae, 123, just your standard average stuff from McRae. He had a great first half, but slowed down after that, even though Bulldogs got on top, which is a bit of a strange way. I thought McRae, might have would have got the 140. We had other partners in Bontempelli and Dunkley, which we'll talk about in a minute. Miller, 101, bit perform below par, which is a bit annoying. That could have got the 120. Didn't do that particularly well in the last quarter. Just sort of slowed down his scoring a bit. He got a lot of clangers. His disposable efficiency wasn't particularly good, which let down his scoring a little bit. Look, 101's okay, but for a player of his price, you probably just want that little bit more. Brayshaw, disappointing for Brayshaw and Fremantle in general. I actually thought they would beat Carlton because Carlton have a lot of injuries. I don't think Carlton really that good. I mean, they're okay, Carlton, but they've got their own issues. And I'm surprised, really, by performance. And I thought Brayshaw will at least get 100, maybe even more. Look, he's still fairly young. And bringing in Brayshaw is a bit of a mare selection. Yes, had his up and downs. They had the option of Parrish and Walsh, and even them, they've been a bit inconsistent. Just like the players around his price bracket. You have Kelly who's inconsistent. Merritt, Parrish, Petrarca, Walsh, they've all been inconsistent. And it's the reason why they're either cheaper or have a lower average than these other players at the top here. Hopefully Brayshaw can bounce back. Who do Freo play next week? Because that's going to be a bit of a... Yeah, they've got Port, so it's going to be a bit of an interesting matchup. Cripps 95. Yeah, a bit meh from Cripps. We had a great start to the season, but he's just dropped off now. I remember him getting like 160 round 2, and then he's just dropped off, and everyone's brought him in too. So, yeah, look, we can't really afford to trade him out. I mean, if you're doing really well and have a few extra trades, you probably could trade him to any of these top players here. These from McRae, Oliver, Laird, O'Neill, Mills. If you don't have any of these players, even a Miller, could probably even bring in a Jack Still soon in too. Could be a better option. Look, we hope Cripps comes back to form. But look, everyone has him, so you're not really going to... It doesn't really matter unless he gets injured. Clark didn't play. Jackson Clark got 23, so 26. And Owens obviously didn't play. So it'd be concerning with the bench options here from the midfield, unlike the defence. A bit of a huge concern, really, because he may go, Clark. But I might have to swap him for Rioli if Rioli's playing and Clark isn't. But if both aren't playing, which I reckon won't happen, but if they both aren't playing, there's a bit of concern. Look, if Clark isn't playing, I'll switch Rioli to the midfield and have him as an emergency option there, which is probably going to be the best way of doing it, because he might not play next week, Clark, after that performance. O'Brien, 127, which is good. I'm happy with that score. No, Witt's got 144, so I lost a bit out on Witts, but Witts is a bit more dear. So I'll take 127. Darcy, 117, happy with that. Hopefully he can continue to pump up above 115 for the rest of the year. He's an average 102, so he'll probably outscore that because he's been in and out with injury. And 531 seems to be a bit of a bargain for a player of his ability or potential. So I'm happy with those two. But some people had Marsh or Witts, and you would have got a huge advantage over players. Tinkle didn't play, so there's a little bit of concern with my ruck options here. Bontempelli, brought him in, 136, happy with that decision. Looking like a good option right now. There's probably another reason why McRae didn't go bananas in the second half too. They've got so many other options. I really thought though, not having Bailey Smith there, he may go even higher. But we'll take a 136 any day of the week, really. 129 from Brody, which is excellent. Some people got rid of him, which I don't know why. I know Fife's back in the side, but Fife hasn't quite found his touch yet. So yeah, 129, happy with that. Dunkley, 110, happy with that. Just your standard stuff. Everyone has him, so it's no point really talking about him. Parker, 75. Now this is a little disappointing. Now a lot of people brought him in now, but it's the game where I thought really he would go well, considering St Kilda played well. I mean, Sydney played well, and he just didn't go off, just like his teammate in Heaney. Yeah, I don't know what happened to basically Mills, Heaney, and Parker. They just didn't go off, is what I thought they would, which really stuffed up my week around, really, this game. It just screwed it up a bit. And I really thought, if they could have had a phenomenal score, like an even better score, probably a top 1,000 score, these three went off. And none of them got above a 90, so, which I'm really shocked. It's bizarre. And he only scored 3 goals and only got 59, which is very disappointing and a bit of a huge concern, to be honest. Look, I brought him in for Butters. I don't know if that's the right choice because he was cheaper and I had that little extra money. Made a bit of money off it too, so we'll soon see with it. I mean, there's no point now. I've already done the trade. Probably there's no point trading him. Rose is disappointing second half. Didn't score anything in the second half. It was like 37 at half time, and he got like one point after half time. I don't know what happened there. His time on ground was terrible. And he's probably has to go, unfortunately. Which is a bit frustrating because I had him and Rioli and Curtis outscored him. Really shocked about Curtis getting an 87. I knew they were playing Adelaide, and I should have thought, Northampton were playing Adelaide. He may, score a goal or two and actually play well. So this is a bit of a shock with Curtis. He's actually turned around, which was looking to be a dud rookie at one point, but he's actually done well the last couple of games. So, yeah, lost 49 points and lost one lead game because of that. It was a bit frustrating. Just little things like this really add up. Look, if Rioli wasn't playing, I would have had him as an emergency, and I would have loopholed him before Roses played, which would have benefited me anyway. But Rioli played alright too. But like I said, I couldn't loophole any of them because I didn't have a rookie who wasn't playing. So, look, in terms of cover, I reckon this is decent cover. If Curtis keeps playing, and might have to hold on to him now, Curtis. I know 244 is a bit too much to have on the bench, but I've only 6 trades left, and Stewart being out. Now, what I want to do for trades this week, it's actually very difficult this week, more difficult than last week, to be honest. Look, I was happy for English to be, come back to play this week so his price can drop because he's break even on 160. So it's like, should I bring him in this week now? And if he was playing this week, he's most likely to drop in price. I can bring him in for Roses, which was a whole plan. And that obviously he's thrown out the window. But look, should I bring him in this week? And I probably might have to, even though I'm paying a lot of money for him. And then another issue too is with the back line here. I was going to get rid of Dacos to probably a Brogio or Cleary to get the cash. So I can afford English. And look, I can still afford English. As you can see here, look, we'll bring in a Brogio. Yeah. This fielder. So bring in a Brogio. Oh gosh, this internet. Oh look, yeah, I'll bring in Brogio. Had a 300k money left in the bank, which would be then enough to then bring in English for Roses. The thing is, I want to bring in English next week, but I'm probably gonna have to make this trade this week. But then again, it's like, I might need Dacos to fill at Stewart's hole instead of trading Stewart, which I'm probably going to have to do that. I don't want to trade Stewart. If he's only out for like 3 weeks, I'll probably have to hold on to him, I reckon. I don't know. It's a tough decision. It's just frustrating. Yeah, the internet's playing up, so I'm not going to show it here. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching.